Welcome back to AuntieTV. This is AuntieTV, your favorite YouTube. Okay, if I'm not your favorite yet, eventually soon I will become your favorite YouTube auntie. Welcome back. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch another video on this channel. Don't take your time lightly, so I really appreciate it. I wanted to touch on this situation in regards to Mr. Nathan Wade and Miss Fannie Willis. They have broke the internet these past few days, and a lot of people making videos dealing with the court proceedings and the testimonies and the lawyers. And but I'm coming to make a different video. My spin is going to be discussing the relationship issues that were pointed out by Miss Fannie Willis. And not sure if she intended to do this, but it definitely gave a lot to be unpacked and a lot to discuss as it relates to women, professional women in relationship with professional men. But I think there's some dynamics that can be taken away from this spiritually, physically, and mentally as it relates, period, to the dynamic of relationships between men and women. This video is going to be for those that believe in the Bible as the written word of the Most High, the creator of heavens and earth. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. If you're not a believer, then this is not a conversation that you're going to vibe with anyway. With that said, we're looking at two professionals in the same space. And Miss Fannie Willis has an elevated position and basically was in a position to contract Mr. Wade. But what has gotten this whole situation in the spotlight as it is that basically she was having an affair with Mr. Wade as she was also paying him through her position as the head prosecutor. Um, so it made it very convoluted, very complex. And it's one thing to look at this professionally, but there's also a spiritual aspect, I think, that does not get discussed, I think, but needs to be discussed for those of us that are believers. And so I want to share with you, like I said, it's a lot to unpack, but I want to start with the first clip. And I'm going to let you hear from Miss Fannie Willis, and then I will come back in the next clip.
We would have brutal arguments about the fact that I am your equal.
So she said they would have brutal arguments that she is his equal. I'm going to say something that's going to be very unpopular. And let me state this for the record. I know what it is to be a female that is entrepreneurial, does business, holds position. I totally 2000% can not only relate, I respect the positioning. I respect females that get their grind on and, get their hustle on. And when you look at the history of Black women in this country, there's a reason why Black women got aggressive about getting their education and excelling. But here's where I think we, as women, professional women, make our mistakes because we have gotten so elevated on our journey or in our career path that we've lost sight of our spiritual connection. And the odd thing is that we are still tied to the church. We're still in the churches, and but yet how could we get this part wrong? And so what I'm about to say is that men and women are not equal. I'm going to give the analogy, the example. 1 equals 1. 1 and 1, that is the same. They're the same number. 2 is equal to 2, same number. Men are equal to men. Women are equal to women. But men and women are not equals. They're not the same. According to the design of the Most High, they serve two different roles and two different functions, but yet they are of the same group, mankind, man, woman, but they are not the same. Genesis 2:18. It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. So when it comes to the relationship between a man and a woman, she was designed to be his helper, not his equal. Doesn't mean, and let me state this for the record, doesn't mean women are less than, not important, has nothing to do with the value of a woman, has everything to do with your role as you were designed. First Corinthians 11:3, according to the word, the head of every man is Christ. The head of woman is man, and the head of Christ is the Lord, is God. So if men and women are equal, then how could the man, according to the scriptures, be the head over a woman? So there's order, there's hierarchy, and we got to respect that that was the rule and regulations established by the creator. And women, I'm going to say this boldly, we have to humble in balancing out our lives. We got to stay focused. If we say we are true believers, then we've got to let the word be its own interpreter, and we got to let the word go forth and be what it is. When I look at their relationship, and when Fanny said that they have brutal arguments, that right there is already a telltale sign and a red flag. And it leaves for you to question, what were they really trying to do in having this relationship professionally and personally, when personally they weren't equally yoked? They may have been equally yoked professionally, but they were not equally yoked personally. And so it just leaves you to question, why would they risk so much for something that was destined not to really go anywhere? Because obviously Fanny felt she was his equal and he felt she was not. Let's go to the next slide.
Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion. And so there was tension always in our relationship. And a man.
So after hearing Nathan said that the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich, then you hear her say, I don't need anything from a man. Just those two statements alone, I think you can pretty much sum up. And I'm not going to say it was all negative. Their times together, but I think it's safe to say that this relationship was really heading nowhere. One, for the simple fact because he was still married. Number two, because they were not equally yoked. They were not aligned in spiritual understanding. And so the $1 million question becomes, why would they risk their whole entire careers for a relationship that really was not going to go anywhere? Was this really worth it? And I'm going to go so far as to just put the question out there, is this what people think love is? So many things to unpack. So many places to go with this, but I'm going to get us into the last slide. And this is where she is going to be talking about why she would not allow him or want him to pay for her, and why she would give him his money back. Listen.
which is why I would give him his money back. I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
I think when you start putting all of this together, this to me is symptomatic of a way bigger issue that really needs to be discussed, dealing with professional women, dealing with women that have put career before the foundation of family and now are at a stage in their life where they want to settle or balance out and have a man. But I think what's happening is that women have become so driven and so aggressive about success in their careers that they have undermined themselves to be successful in relationships. The very things that got them successful, the characteristics that got them successful in their careers, is making them unsuccessful in the relationship side. And this is where women have to learn. It's one thing to be the CEO or the boss female in business, but you got to learn how to come home and play VP to that man. And especially if you got a real man that understands his role and position, you cannot move him out of the way and ask him to share that space with you. Ladies, we have to learn how to come home and get into VP position, so to speak. And it's balance. We have to learn that who we are in the business market, we can't be that same person when it comes to us being at home. I watch certain shows, and we got a lot of the shows today are promoting and pushing the careers of successful women in positions, and you're starting to see the husbands come onto the show, and it's really interesting to watch because unfortunately things are out of order when it comes to the balancing of man and woman in a union. And we're starting to see a lot of careers coming before womanly roles in the home, in the relationships. And it's not going to work. We want traditional men, but we are not putting ourselves in positions to be traditional women. And doesn't matter how many degrees you have, doesn't matter, that man wants you to come home and he has a need and an expectation for you to serve a certain need in him in your womanly state, not in your masculine, in your feminine state, not your masculine. So we've got to humble ourselves and get back to some basics if we're going to nurture relationships correctly. I want to say this especially to Black women. We have had to be the drivers and the aggressors for a long time. And I know a lot of women are tired and they wish, whether it's quietly wished or if it's publicly or verbally wished, they wish that they were able to fall back. But I think a lot of women are struggling learning how to do that because they've been on this grind so long, driving this success, this successful career path, and now they want to come out of that and have a healthy relationship. And we always point the finger at the men, but it's not always the men, ladies. We've got to take some ownership and responsibility that we too are some contributors to relationships not working out because we don't know how to turn down the masculinity and turn up our femininity. And so even in the church, we've lost our way. A lot of the things that we're bringing into the house of the Lord, so to speak, it's not even kingdom business. It's not worship of Him. It's not um, honoring His word or hearing His word or in a place of worship. We've brought worldly things into the house of our Father. And so I just want to send this message that we start to ponder and think about who we are according to the scriptures and have a prayer in our heart to go after getting back to that place and having balance. We can't put all the blame on our men. We have to take some responsibility that we are out of order. So I want to leave it right there. Again, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far, I know a lot of people end up shutting off at the beginning or the middle, or they scrolling fast. But I think it's important that we have these healthy dialogues in order for us to become better versions of ourselves so that we can get back to having healthy relationships the way we were intended to have them. So much love. I see you in the next video.
Wait a minute. Did y'all forget to subscribe? There you go. Now click that notification bell and click all so you don't miss out on any videos that Auntie is going to be uploading. Okay, now go by. You see that thumbs up? Click the like button. And lastly, on your way out, drive by that comment section and drop a comment. See you in the upcoming videos. Love you.
Auntie, go, go, auntie, go, auntie, go. Putting in more than the things we see. I know there's two sides of everything. That's what I cut for you. Ain't no limit to what I does for ya. Generations of our culture opens up. Every day I'm growing and it's going up. Auntie TV, it's